What's up, traders? In today's Nasdaq Daily Review, we had some great price action, and both the Money Maker setup and the Stoic Trader Golden SBS were in play. But which one handled the market conditions better? Stay tuned to find out. Also, a huge shout out to Clarence who just got funded using only the Money Maker DTFX strategy. If you are ready to break down today's trades and see what worked best, let's get into it. Okay, before we dive in, I want to remind you that everything I do here is completely free. No hidden charges, no paid services. Our Discord community, which is also free, is growing strong with over 2,000 members, all filled with positive energy and a genuine desire to help each other succeed. If you are not already part of it, make sure to join us and become part of this amazing community. The link is in the pinned comment below. So, Nasdaq, 3 a.m., London Open. I can see that price flipped bullish in here. I can also see this bullish glitch setup. So, respecting the rules, we don't trade actually at market opens, right? But it was a win. And I also see some guys at the Discord. I saw some traders took it. Okay, so James Body took it. Wolfek took it. Russian Raj also took it. Snatch also took it. And Soul Trades. I think James Body also took it. Congratulations, guys. It was a win, but you didn't respect the rule. To work it out this time, but please next time just avoid to trade at market open. Okay, now, if we zoom out, we can see that the market was doing lower lows. Market structure was bearish, right? You can also confirm it on the EM5. So this closed under this low, making this protected high on the M5. Okay, so this flip here just facilitated the retracement to the 50% of this zone. Okay, but since we were at London market open, the retracement won't be easy. They like to be a bit dramatic. So the trade here, or what I was seeing, is this glitch in here. Okay, so let me explain to you again the glitch. So the glitch is, instead of us taking the trade at the 50% of the zone, right, you can spot that in this zone we had this unmitigated origin. Okay, but more than that, we have an ICT setup, the breaker or the unicorn. So the breaker is when we have a high and a higher high, then we take our MSS and take the protected low. Okay, we have also usually a fair value gap that comes with that breaker nested in it. Okay, so traders take the shorts from here and they target this low. Okay, but what some of them do also is that they take the fibs from here. Okay, and they forget to take something at -2 and -2.5. They still target -4, or they hold shorts to take lows they can see in the market. Okay, they think they have enough money to just bring the market down. So what market do usually is that they come, or it's come back for their stops here. So this is liquidity here. It will act as a magnet for price. And this is where I saw that this origin will give the best setups. So I learned this setup by taking lots of losses as an ICT breaker trader as well. So what I saw is that usually price come back to the 50% of this origin. Okay, so if price is still bearish, right, I have reasons to be bearish, I will take the glitch Pro Max. Okay, so the glitch Pro Max usually give crazy RR trade, and they are usually often 6R trades. Okay, so you take the glitch Pro Max when you are sure that the market is still bearish. Okay, or you take the 1-to-1 of the glitch which is, to be honest, the highest probability setup I have ever seen. Okay, so this is the explanation you needed for the glitch setup. Okay, because I saw lots of you guys still asking about it. Okay, so if you took this 1-to-1 from here, it was a win, right? But we know that the glitch will act as a magnet for price. So we're in here and price will play for a bit. Okay, and that will take a lot of times. Okay, but it was a take profit. Okay, so this is the glitch Pro Max. It's nothing but instead of taking a trade from this 50%, okay, you see that this swing has this breaker set up and the origin is unmitigated. Okay, so you place your limits at the origin, at the 50% of the origin, and you take the 1-to-1 if you want to have easy money. But if you are really good about predicting price or market structure, you take the glitch Pro Max. Okay, cool. Let's say that you saw the glitch, right? But you didn't trust it and you needed more confirmation. Okay, easy peasy. Just wait for a CSD or a flip, right? So in this case, the flip is us closing under this low. Okay, so since we close under this low with lots of fair value gaps, this is for me displacement, and I won't expect price to reach back to the 50%. Okay, so this is where I use the OTE or the Stoic Trader Golden SBS Fib. Okay, so you wait for your market structure shift or your MSS, CSD, whatever you want to call it. Okay, flip, and you enter after the confirmation. Your stop needs to be above this high, and you target the next week low for a 2-hour trade. Okay, now let's go back to here on M1 and talk about what market did. And I will show you guys my trade. I took only one trade yesterday. All right, so M1, okay, and we were in this glitch zone right here. And you can also, when you get to M1, you can also spot that glitch within the glitch, right? So here again on M1, before they did the breaker on M5, they did it on M1, leaving this as liquidity, right? So you can have even more higher RR trading it from this M1 glitch. Okay, so let's see how much RR is this. Okay, so that's a 10-hour trade. You take this trade and you're done for the week. Okay, no need to overtrade, just make money and run. All right, so we have our first win of the day, right? So the glitch win. Okay, I'm not counting this because it was not pro rule. Okay, and congratulations to the guys who took it: James Body, Yannick's, and Marcus. So see, when I tell you, they give more than one entry at the glitch. Okay, so this is the first entry, second entry, third entry, fourth entry. Okay, but I only advise you guys to take one. All right, so we had this money maker setup now with displacement, right? Let's just say you don't or you didn't know that we were bearish in higher time frame. You saw a plus setup and you want to take it. Okay, let's see. Right, so this is also a bearish money maker setup. Okay, So we're in, and that's a cheapie, okay? So if you didn't get tagged in, you're tagged in here, and that's cheapie, okay? So that's the second win for the day, all right? So we're tagged in this money maker now, okay? And that was a loss, okay? Why was this a loss? Is number one, we're delivering back from a glitch to maybe go take this low, right? So since we CSD here or flipped back bearish, and we also had a bearish money maker zone, you never go and take these trades, right? You at least wait for price to flip bullish above the last zone, okay? Other thing is what I spoke about in the higher time frame videos, how to avoid trap zones. So this was a trap zone, valid zone on M5. This was not. So this is why price will reach the 50% of the bigger zone, right? Give the 1-to-1 and use this as a accumulation or as a breaker liquidity entry. So this is also a breaker, right? So this was a low and this was a lower low and we closed above it, right? So we closed above it with a fair value gap, breaker entry at this FVG that closed above this. Remember the most important FVG I always tell you guys about. This FVG is really, really important. It usually gives the move or at least the first move, okay, the first scalp, right? So we take the liquidity into this 50%. That's why this zone failed, right? No problem. Let's just count it as a loss, right? I just want to congratulate Lone. So my boy Lone did some weird ritual, right? And he won this short in here. He won the 1-to-1 here, but he gave back instantly his money by taking the next setup. And this is something you need, guys, to have like a rule or something for this. When market give you a win, it won't give you the next win. You're just like playing with statistics, trying to push numbers against you, okay? When you take a win, just take a breath or go take a walk and then come back. Same thing you need to do when you take a loss. Just go out, take a breath, and then come back to trade, okay? Now, I have this zone, and I also know that on M5, price CSD'd here, and we have this breaker entry in here, so I know that price will at least come back here, right? To deliver this 1-to-1 and to mitigate those fair value gaps or give a breaker entry, okay? So this is a trade, right? Higher time frame trade. A bit risky because it's counter trend and not the trades I will take, to be honest. And sorry, I just saw this glitch setup. So that's also a glitch, okay? So there is this glitch you can take this way and you target. In this case, you know, or we know that we are not going to take this high again, right? So the Pro Max in this case is the 1-to-1 of the zone. So this will give now a 4.87 RR, okay? So we're in. Now, here is what I do, okay? So I will take the glitch. I can take this glitch for a 1-to-1, okay? That's a trade I can take, right? Since you guys are asking me to show you more the kind of trades I'm willing to take, okay? So I won't take this trade from this 50%, but I will wait for a bullish zone creation, okay? Which got created in here, okay? So if price come back here, I will take this 1-to-1, okay? So price didn't actually come here, and they used again a breaker entry. Okay, that's more of a mitigation block entry because we didn't make a lower low. So when we don't make a lower low, this is a mitigation block and not a breaker. Okay, so there was, or this accumulation here formed this zone, and we also took this liquidity in here. Okay, so that's a good zone, and it gave an instant 1-to-1. So that's a trade I can take. Okay, but I didn't take this trade because why? I was driving. Okay, now price accumulates more. Okay, okay, and created now this zone, right? So we created this zone. So here my wife, like magic, she came and she was like, I spotted a money maker, and I was like, what? Because she doesn't know how to trade and she never was interested in trading. But this time, she was watching the videos I was posting on YouTube to support me, but she ended up learning how to trade. Okay, so she gave me this signal, and for fun, I took it. Okay, so I put $2,000 risk in it. So I love this because they accumulated above the 50%. Okay, so I was in. They ranged for a bit and they gave us the 1-to-1. All right, cool. So that was the only trade I took for the day, and you can see the execution in here. Now, as you can see, the glitch Pro Max in this case delivered, my setup delivered, and also the 1-to-1 for this M5 zone also delivered. Okay, this zone also delivered. So congratulations to the guy that took these trades. I will show you their trades. All right, so everybody actually took in the Discord this trade. So congratulations, Marcus. He took the zone, right? Ty took it as well. He took the glitch, right? And Nix, he also took it from the glitch, right? And to my biggest surprise, my boy Lone, which is like really new, he took a variation of the glitch Pro Max. So proud of you, man. You rock. Okay. So Yannick's also took it. He took the 5-minute zone. So he did his homework. And when he saw lots of unmitigated zones, he went to a higher time frame to take it. Congrats, Yannick's. Your baby 2000 took his first win of the day from the glitch. Congrats, man. Solon was like asking for hearts because he won a great trade. Congrats, man. I'll give you the heart as well. Okay, your baby took the first zone that was created after the breaker or the mitigation block. Heda trades, never miss those trades. She is like one of the best traders I know, the most disciplined persons I know. She really deserves to be up there with the greatest traders. She's also a great mom for her kids. I really like her charts, and I really advise you to follow her on Twitter. She goes by the same name. So Samuel took the glitch and the money maker for the zone. Congrats, man. That's how we play. Really nice. So your baby took my trade as well, the trade my wife gave me. So congrats, your baby. James Body as well, he took it. Here's why I was like, my wife gave me the signal. Okay. So my boy Ramasamy took the trade as well. He took it from the glitch and then from the whole zone, right? So you guys are like geniuses. Like, I'm so proud of you all. Now let's try and count these wins, right? So we had this glitch win number 1, this zone win 2, this win 3, and this win 4. Okay, so that's 4 plus 3, 7. Okay. Now, let me show you some magic, right? So I was bearish here, right? Remember? I was bearish here. Why? Because price in 5 minutes will come back to this breaker or this zone, this bearish flip, to mitigate it and then come back, right? So here, I remember my boy Wolf wanting to take this trade. Okay? And I was like, no, don't take it. Why? Because I know this zone that failed will act as a flip zone, right? As a breaker. This is the breaker. It will act or react from 50%. They can go mitigate something here. This, right? And then just keep ranging if they want, right? That's why I told him just to count the swings. But let me show you some magic, right? So this is a retracement on M1, okay? So when it's a retracement on M1, I go to the 15 second and try to catch the first breaker that happened in here, right? First change of state of delivery. So this is a bearish order block. The moment we close above it, we have our change in state of delivery. So I put the Dexter Fib in it, right? So as you can see here, they did price pattern number 1. So they flipped bullish, they created a fake zone, they closed above, they took the fake zone, and then they went up, right? So that's price pattern number 1. Okay, so here is the magic. Remember the trade I took, right? So the trade I took was here. Let me show you. Right? So this was the trade I took. Okay? So why did I still trust this trade? And why this trade like give multiple wins? I'm talking about this one. Right? So because this zone was at, remember, the silver bullet zone. Okay? So this zone was at the silver bullet zone, but this zone as well was somehow in it, right? Okay? So the trade was a bit risky because we still didn't close above minus 2.5. But since the zone was an accumulation in the silver bullet zone, I still took it. But now that we got above minus 2.5, the retracement is getting dangerous, right? So they like to play in here. They can play, or they can go to minus 3.5, minus 4, and just run down, okay? But when price is between minus 2.5 and minus 3.5, it gets messy, okay? So here's what happens. This zone, I'm not trusting anymore because we got above minus 2.5, right? Okay. So we came back in here, right? And I'm still not trusting this as a bearish zone. This is not a flip, right? This was the first flip into some order block in here, or maybe again this breaker. This was a flip into this liquidity in here, right? So we still had this unmitigated FVG that was in here. Let me clean these charts for you guys. Right? So this fair value gap was touched lots of time. And then they cleared those liquidities and we had this order block. So if we don't take this low, I'm still bullish, okay? Or at least I'm not taking this bearish zone, right? Okay, so that's actually what happened. They reached back again, up, okay? And now they closed, all right? So now that they closed under this, right? What is this now? This is a breaker, right? So high, higher high, and we close under, right? So this is our breaker. Does it have FVGs? Yes, here. Let's go to a higher time frame, maybe M5. And as you can see, we closed with an FVG, which is like the strongest FVG I told you guys about, right? So you do nothing, right? Because the risk is huge here. But normally, if you wanted to trade this trade and just like accept the risk, right? You can take trade like this, a 1-to-1 or something like that, okay? But this is not a trade or something I advise you guys to do because the risk is not well managed, okay? The stop loss is huge, okay? So let's just say I wanted to take this first flip, okay? So how can you be safe, right? So as I told you guys before, if you wanted the CSD confirmation for this trade, right? And you took this trade from this 50% of the last zone, you never trust your stop in here. Why? Because in the higher time frame, there is still portion of this fair value gap unmitigated, okay? Just don't care about all of this stuff, right? And just put your stop above the last high, okay? And make sure there is no unmitigated FVG. If there is one, and I see the volume imbalance in here, I advise you guys to put the stop in here. And again, this won't be a manageable trade. It's a theoretical trade, but the risk is huge. So just let it go. Keep waiting for clear zones you can trade on the smaller time frame, okay? Again, as you guys can see, here again, once again, this fair value gap, we closed under this low with this fair value gap. So this fair value gap was what held the price in here, okay? But also, as I told you before, by just using the fib, right, you could have entered this trade and targeted the lows, okay, for a winning trade. So here's where the golden SBS fibs come in clutch, is when we close under the low, but with lots of fair value gaps. Here we know for sure and for a fact that price will only mitigate the 6.8 golden zone, right? It will never go for the 50% of this zone, okay? So Money Maker versus golden fibs. Here the golden SBS by Stoic wins, right? Now let's go back to M1, and as before, so price closed now under it. So the trade will be from this M5 higher time frame fair value gap, okay? But what I also see is this glitch, okay? So this was a good glitch, right? So that's a good glitch trade. But in this case, you never take more than a 1-to-1 against a breaker, okay? And we are bearish higher time frame. So you never take more than a 1-to-1, or at least go break even at a 1-to-1. Don't go for a Pro Max or something crazy like that, okay? So we're tagged and instant win, okay? Cool. So for me now, I can bring the magic. Let me give you some magic again. So that's a win for the glitch, okay? So that's 8 wins, right? And let me show you the traders that took it. All right, so again, Fluxus took this trade, right? So she specialized also in the glitches. She got really good at them. So she's also another trader I advise you guys to follow. She always shares real clean charts, and she's also very, very disciplined. Not only that, but she's also doing God's work on the Discord. She is the best admin in the Discord, okay? So Kryptoniter also took this trade. Okay, congrats, man. And my boy Yannick's also took that trade, right? So that was his third win, I think. Yeah, it was a quick win, as he said in here. So congrats, guys. You guys nailed it. Okay, back to our stuff. So the breaker here will be the low risk entry for this trade. Okay, right? So price reacted to this zone because it had a fair value gap in here and reaches to the -2 and -2.5 deviations. Okay, to the tick, and they changed the state of delivery again in it, right? So we had this high and we closed above this high. So they changed the state of delivery by closing above this in here, right? So the close was small, but they closed above this high, right? So the high frequency algorithm will enter in here, and this is what, and they used it for the news, for the 8:30 news, which we don't trade, okay? So for me, we don't trade in here, right? We wait for market to show more, okay? So we're still bullish, okay? All of this were trades you can take on the second time frame, bullish money maker zones, okay? Again, market open, we don't trade, right? And they took the high, okay? Let's go to a higher time frame, because when there is news, it's usually a higher time frame move, okay? So let's see what's happening, or what was happening, okay? So again, the most important fair value gap, right? So we took this low and we closed with the fair value gap, right? Okay. So we never mitigate the fair value gap, and with news, price maybe will go up there, right? So you can take trades if they fill you in, right? But I don't think they will. Yes, so that's a golden SBS, right? Okay, so you can enter with the golden bullet here. And now they tagged the 4-hour fair value gap. Not only that, but now we took a higher time frame high. Okay, so we took this higher time frame high, aka you never take this zone, right? So we either wait for accumulation or a change of order flow, right? So this zone will not work. Okay, cool. Cool, so they just fall in, right? That's why we don't trade news, okay? I see now this, let's place the fib here, okay? So this was again a breaker entry, okay? Let's wait for a zone to be created, okay? So we had this zone, okay? And this was the silver bullet zone, which had an FVG here. So maybe they will come back or come down just from it, okay? Let's wait for more information. So, okay. So they touched the important FVG here. So again, do we have a trade? Maybe. Okay. So you can either silver or golden SBS this, right? So we're filled, but they never touched the 50% of the money maker. But now they did, okay. So that's another win, right? So that's another win for the money maker. Okay, cool. That's 8 wins. Let's see for the golden fibs. Okay. All right. They are playing. Okay. no problem. What I didn't see here is that actually price flipped bullish when they closed above this zone, right? Those were bullish zone you could have taken. So all of these money makers were valid, and this was a bullish A++ or A plus with accumulation. Okay, so price flipped bullish. I didn't see it, so that's why you always follow the trades to the right, right, and pay attention closely, right? I was not trading yesterday at this time, so I don't remember this price action. Yeah, now they mitigated like the important fair value gap, right? Yeah, so that's what happened. So they changed the state of delivery and closed under this low with this fair value gap, right? It was left unmitigated. So this touched exactly the 50% of it. And now they are falling, okay? Okay, so please pay attention to this setup and this fair value gap, because price always respect this signature at the highs and at the lows, right? So this signature happened after the flip. I see lots of zones you could have taken, right? So these money makers, when price flipped back bearish, so there's this, okay, a win, and then they kept falling, okay? So that's us done for the day. I hope you guys will like this review, okay? And as you saw, I tried to show you guys how and when to trust the money maker more than the Stoic Trader Golden SBS or our Golden Bullet. So for me, the displacement is what differentiates between when you get filled with the money maker or the Stoic SBS. Also, when we are playing in New York and when we displace in New York is something else. So when we displace in New York, we respect the golden zone. But when we displace in London, more times often than not, we come back to the money maker. Pay attention to this. Try to implement the Dexter Fibs in your trading. And if you have some questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to answer to all of them, as I always do. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any futures update. And if you want to dive deeper into the money maker setup, check out the playlist that will pop up in the end screen. It's packed with everything you need to get started. Remember, everything I do is free, including our thriving Discord community. Join us and let's keep growing together. Ciao, ciao.